Are you trying to create a timeline in R and feeling stuck? You're not alone. Many users face challenges when visualizing data, especially with overlapping elements. Today, we're going to tackle how to create a clear and effective timeline using the ggplot2 and timeline packages. I completely understand how frustrating it can be when your data visualization doesn't turn out as expected. You might have spent hours preparing your data only to find that everything is superimposed. Trust me, this is a common issue that many R users encounter. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user asked, how can I create a timeline of concurrent health technologies with proper spacing and fitting text? They have 16 cases from 4 different manufacturers, spanning from January 1st, 2001 to March 31st, 2016. Sound familiar? If you're facing similar challenges, stick around as we explore solutions together. So what's the issue here? When plotting your data, all the geoms are superimposed within a group. This can happen due to overlapping dates or insufficient spacing in your plot. Understanding how ggplot2 handles layers and aesthetics is key to resolving this. And don't go anywhere. At the end of this video, I'll share a pro tip that will help you visualize your data more effectively in R. To begin creating the timeline, the user should ensure that the data is properly formatted. This means having the correct column headers: device, manufacturer, start date, and end date. Next, the user needs to load the necessary libraries. They should load both the ggplot2 and timeline packages to enable the visualization of the data. Now, the user can create the timeline plot. They should use the timeline function with the device data frame to visualize the health technologies over time. To address the issue of overlapping geoms, the user can adjust the position of the geoms. They should use the position argument to space them out effectively. Finally, the user can customize the appearance of the plot. They can modify colors, labels, and themes to enhance readability and presentation. Fun fact, did you know that the first graphical data visualizations were created in the 18th century? They were hand-drawn and took hours to produce. Thankfully, we have R to make our lives easier. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user suggests that the overlapping rectangles in your timeline are due to grouping by manufacturer, which causes devices with similar dates to overlap. To resolve this, you can either decrease the label size using the command timeline with text.size equals 1, or suppress the labels entirely by setting text.color to transparent and manually placing them. They also recommend considering a Gantt chart for better readability, where each product has its own row, making the product lifetimes clearer. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to use the TimeVis package for creating interactive timelines. Although it can be a bit challenging to set up groups, it allows for unstacked plots. This method requires renaming the columns of your data frame to match the TimeVis format, and then you can visualize your timeline interactively. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always check your data for consistency and use ggplot2's flexibility to your advantage. Experiment with different positions and aesthetics to find what works best for your timeline. And there you have it. With these tips, you should be able to create a clear and effective timeline in R. Remember, practice makes perfect. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on data visualization.